right, let's leave it at that, viewers, and shift our focus to some breaking news coming in. India's January to March GDP expands to 6.1%, and India's financial year 2023 GDP growth is at 7.2%, and India's financial year 2023 fiscal deficit narrows to 6.4% of the GDP. My colleague Tamanna is joining us. Tamanna, over to you. Help us understand what exactly has happened as far as India's GDP growth is concerned.
So India's GDP has grown at 7.2% in the financial year 23. That means between April of 2022 and March of 2023, the economy has expanded at 7.2%. Now, that number needs to be seen in context to understand whether this is a good number or a disappointing number. On the face of it, it's definitely a good number because expectations were slightly lower from this financial year because of a host of reasons, including the impact of the war in Ukraine, Russia, global recession looming, etc. So compared to what was expected, we have done better at 7.2. Most of that boost has come from quarter 4 of the GDP number, which is at 6.1. So when I say quarter 4, I mean January, February and March of this year. This calendar year has seen a better than expected growth at 6.1. Now, why am I saying that? Because compared to the previous quarter, the previous 3 months, which was October, November and December, we have grown much higher at 6.1%. The growth before that was at 4.5%. So definitely an improvement in the first 3 years, first 3 months of this calendar year, which has boosted the GDP growth. Now, the question is, where has this growth come from? A big boost in manufacturing in quarter 4 has contributed to it. Consumer spending has contributed to it. And that is one of the reasons that you're seeing a better than expected figure when you look at the whole year's figure. Now, like I said, all numbers have to be seen in context to know whether they are good or bad or up to expectation. So if I compare this to last year, that is financial year 22, between 2021 and 2022, that number for GDP was 9.1%. So if I compare it to just that, we have dropped over FY22 from 9.1% to 7.2% in FY23. But there's a bit of a catch there because the inflated or the higher number in FY22 was because the last effects of the pandemic were still showing on the GDP figure.
Right. All right, Tamanna, appreciate you joining us and giving our viewers an understanding of the GDP growth that the country is taking forward. Let's leave it at that, viewers. And with that, it's a wrap on this bulletin. More news and updates will continue on the other side.